It's now 1 week of the Matric examinations down and 5 more to go. And so far so good for the nearly 900,000 pupils who sat for their first papers in this year's National Senior Certificate examinations. Umalusi, the council responsible for overseeing the National Senior Certificate, is happy with its preparations. But what about the pupils writing these exams? What can they do to make sure they stay ahead of the game during this stressful period? Former Matric students Raymond Mogano from Realogile Secondary School and Paballo Seshoka from Ponelopele Oracle Secondary School joins us now live in studio. Thank you very much to the both of you for waking up so bright and early to join us. Paballo, let me start with you. How did you perform during your Matric year?
So I did my Matric in 2018.
Yeah.
And when I did my Matric, I was doing my Matric with a 4-month-old baby. I had just had a baby during my Matric year.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was difficult. It was very hard, obviously. But I did well. I managed to get a few distinctions.
Yeah.
And I got admitted to do my LLB at UJ.
Congratulations. You know what, let me stay with you a little bit, because I think what you just brought up is very important. Having had a child in your Matric year, we still have that happening. So what would be your advice to those who are finding themselves in the same situation as you, stress of becoming a mom, and then stress of writing one of the most important exams of your life?
Okay, so, I mean, I need to start with the thing. First thing, try to avoid it as much as possible. Like, your life does not have to be that difficult. You don't need to make your life that difficult. It is difficult already when you're doing your Matric. Don't do that to yourself. Secondly, when you find yourself in a situation like that, the most important thing is to believe in yourself, considering that when you're in that position, most people have already written you off, saying you're probably not going to make it in life. But you need to be able to believe in yourself. Try to have the proper system in your life to make sure that there's people that support you so that you make this a success. You pass your exams, you're able to prepare. Unfortunately, you will have to sacrifice sleep. You will have to choose between sleeping, taking care of the baby, and study. So sleep will have to go in the back seat so that you will be able to do your preparations and write your exams properly.
Raymond, how did you do, what helped you during that time that you could advise to those who are writing now?
I mean, firstly, it's just you have to believe in yourself. You have to believe in yourself, and you have to realize that this is the most crucial examination period of your life. It affects everything that goes forward. It affects where you're headed and everything that's happening. I think it's realizing that we have many struggles in South Africa. I mean, realizing firstly from load shedding, starting with load shedding, with candles, with the lights and everything like that, noises around, and also depends on your location that you are around. I mean, it's only about finding what is best to do at the moment, do a little bit of sacrifice. It's just only 2 weeks or 3 weeks, and from there your life can be as fruitful as it can be.
Realogile Secondary, is it in Alexandra?
Yes, it is in Alexandra.
That, is the situation for many thousands of students, being in a township where, the typical thought is that you can't necessarily concentrate too much because of what's happening outside. How did you do it? What's your advice to people in Soweto, Alexandra, Diepsloot, etc., who find themselves in the situation you were in?
I mean, firstly, you have to realize that that is not where you want to be.
Yes.
That is the first step that I took, and you have to you have to realize that that is not where you want to be, and you have to realize that we have struggles everywhere, and most importantly, you must not get consumed by the township. We have struggles everywhere. I mean, what I did was I had headsets where I would study using white noise in my house, or I would rather go to the library at my school and study there, or there was a library near the fire station. So it's just a matter of finding the best times where there are also less noises, because there's nothing you can do about it. It's not something that you can go and tell your principal, you know what, or tell your mom, they are making noise, go passaging or something like that. So it's just a matter of saying, like, where is the best slot possible? They are making less noise here. I can study using this period, or at night, 4 to 5, something like that. It's just a matter of time and realizing that you have to get out of the township.
Yeah.
Most importantly.
Yeah. Now, Paballo, I'm going to ask you guys both this question. We found out that, day before the exam, apparently, there's a Matric pupil who decided to take their own life. I guess the pressure was getting too much. Maybe another person is in a situation where, for instance, they're pregnant or they're expecting a child because a boy is involved, obviously, in a pregnancy. You know, what would you say to a person like that who at the moment is thinking, I don't know if I'm going to make it?
The first thing that I will say is that you need to know where you want to be in your life. When I found out that I was pregnant and I was going to have a child when I did my matric, the thought of me quitting school and not doing my matric when I was supposed to do my matric, it didn't even cross my mind, because at the back of my head, I always known what I wanted. I always known where I would want to see myself in a couple of years. So you need to keep that in mind, that no matter what happens in your life, there will always be challenges. There will always be something that you're going through. You need to work hard. And if praying helps, we believe in God, pray and ask God for strength to take you through the situation. Mental health is a huge problem. I also had my own struggles, especially when I was doing my LLB. Have the proper systems. I can't stress having the proper support system in your life enough. The friends that you keep at home, if talking to your friend about how you're feeling, if you feel like the pressure is too much, what can I do? Talk to a friend, seek help. We have numbers where you can call and talk to a person for free. Yeah. Do that. We have facilities like that. Take that and use them to advantage.
And what would you say? What would be your advice to someone who's going through those type of thoughts? Some of them will even go through those type of thoughts after the results come out and they realize they didn't do well or they didn't make it.
I mean, acceptance is key. I mean, I remember writing my maths paper too with, I was feeling very sick. I had a runny stomach and I had fever. But I had to realize that I had a one shot at this examination. I remember not being able to write on the exam, to write the examination like this. I had to lie down like this and write because of the heavy stomach and everything that. But I mean, also one thing that is very important is during the examination period, it's not just only about studying. It's making sure that you're mentally well, you are eating food that are good for you, and not eating. Make sure that you don't eat food that is expired or anything that can affect how you write. Regarding to the pressure, I mean, sometimes, like I said, acceptance is key. If you realize that you're in a very drastic period and you realize that you cannot be saving this, let's say you're writing maths and you realize that you cannot save maths. It's like you realize you need to pass, but maybe you're just going to make it in the lower marks. I mean, sometimes it's very important to realize maybe if maths is not really important for what you want to do next year, you can just give it a bit of effort and realize that you have to leave everything, the rest to God. I mean, because there's nothing more you can do, and focus on the things that are very important for the course you want to do next year, or for whatever reason you want to, for anything that you want to do next year. And most importantly, you have to accept and you have to realize that stressing yourself does not help.
Yeah, it actually exacerbates the issue. All right, lastly from the both of you, parental support. How important was that? Your mom maybe staying up, or an aunt staying up with the baby while you study. Maybe your mom thinking, let me get you these earphones so you can have white noise. You know, how important is that?
Parental support is very important because these are the people that you stay with in the house. And they're supposed to be there to make things a little bit easier for you. My parents supported me so much. My siblings as well were there to support me when I needed help with the baby. And I am very grateful, because if it wasn't for that, then I would not have been able to pass. And, you know, the belief that they had that I was going to be able to make it, you would see in the efforts that they put in to ensure that I had all the time that I needed to prepare for the exams.
Because the baby was there. What else was going to happen?
You can't do anything about it.
And you, parental guidance
and
support, how important?
It's really positive when you realize that your parents are your biggest fan. I mean, when you realize that your parents are your biggest fan, you're trying everything to make sure that they're always happy. And parental support is very important. I mean, by parents helping you to do the dishes sometimes when you have an exam, or them washing your school uniform when they realize that you're writing on Monday, you have 2 papers, that's just enough. I mean, your siblings also play a very huge role because they are a part of your everyday life. They support you here and there, and most importantly, you just need to stay positive, believe in yourself, and just make sure that you're in a period of you're feeling loved and you feel so motivated for the examinations.
Thank you so much to the both of you. Good luck for the future. Hopefully you are able to continue motivating those who will be sitting next year and the year after, and so on and so forth. Paballo and Raymond, former Matric pupils, just giving those of you who are sitting down for your exams at the moment some advice, and even advice to parents out there in terms of your support and being the #1 fan of your children.